think this is a really pivotal time for marketers, but it's also presenting a lot of challenges and questions. So I do hope to play a small part, at least, in helping marketers think about how they navigate this new and challenging but very exciting environment. Hello, my name is Kat Warboys. I'm the APAC Marketing Director at HubSpot, and I'm here today to answer your marketing questions. So, first one, the digital creative landscape is more crowded than ever. How do I make my work more visible online? Great question. This is definitely a trend that we are seeing. When I speak to brands, when I speak to marketers, many of them are saying that it is definitely hard to get cut through and that tactics that were once working for them just aren't as effective anymore. So to actually start with, what is your growth objective? So an easy example we can think about is maybe new inquiries from clients, right? Once we know what that growth objective is, we can then think about conversion rate. So the way I think about this, and we'll keep it simple, if you get 1,000 visits to your page and 100 of those turn into new inquiries, your conversion rate is 10%. If your objective or your growth objective is to get 200 new clients per month in inquiries, you know that you need probably 2,000 visits. So now we know what good looks like. You can then start to have a look at what is currently working for you. Where is most of that traffic? Where is that most of that visibility coming from? Is it coming from paid? Is it actually your email subscribers? Is it social media? Now, I could tell you what works really well for us at HubSpot, but really the key to success here is understanding your audience, knowing where they hang out, what they're into, what they're gonna find interesting, how they wanna be engaged with. If you can't answer that, I highly encourage you to rethink about your audience. Who are they? There's a really great tool called makemypersona.com that will guide you through the exact questions you need to know to create that sort of one-pager on who your audience is. And this is what you want to use every time you think, how do I reach my audience? How do I get my work out there? I have a small but loyal audience. How do I grow that audience and appeal to a wider demographic without straying from what my existing audience already likes? When I take a look at most brands or content creators' websites, their assets, they're really speaking to people who are already at what we call the consideration stage. These are people who are aware of the solution that they're looking for. So they'll be searching for things like, if you're selling website templates, they'll be searching for, the best 20 WordPress responsive templates, something like that. And when I look at brands, the chances are a lot of your content is talking about website templates. There is a whole other layer of your ideal audience who are a great fit for your product, but aren't yet aware of you as a potential solution. So what I mean by that is they are searching for things like, how do I generate more leads? Why isn't my website performing? So when we change our content strategy to help our customers answer those questions, you might create content such as how X brand, 10x their business through a website redesign. So it changes your angle, it changes your approach to content. And so it's the same audience, but you're actually able to unlock a whole other layer to people who don't yet know that you and your product have a great solution to their problem. Next question. An easy one. How do I balance creativity with strategy? Creativity without direction is probably not going to yield the best results in terms of business growth. And I think that's really the role that strategy needs to play. It needs to be very directional to help you focus creativity. In terms of the balance or that time split, I would actually say if you're spending a lot of time revisiting strategy, you probably didn't get your strategy right from the get-go. So for me and for many brands, strategy really happens more periodically. So I would put a lot of time and investment in the start of the year into your strategy. It should be really clear, articulate, with maximum 2 to 3 things on how you're actually going to execute on that. Any more and you're going to lose focus. If you get that piece right, the rest of your year should really be about alignment to that strategy, and you're putting a lot of your time into the work, the execution, the production, the creativity part.
Struggling for a spark? Fire up the largest unlimited creative subscription in the world. Find and download authentic graphics, templates, photos, and fonts. Get seriously creative. And go supernova with Envato Elements.
How do I create a successful marketing campaign to promote my creative work and grow my audience? What are the key steps? All right, so with a campaign, I would think about the overall strategic marketing objective first. So that could be you have a new product or service to launch. Maybe you would love to get 50 new inquiries from a client as a result of that. Step 2, define your audience. Is this new product or service a great fit for your existing customers, or are you actually targeting a new type of customer with this? I'd also encourage you to think about segmentation. So for example, if your product or service is currently tailored to B2B marketers, can you go by industry? B2B marketers in hospitality or marketers in finance, for example. So really define your audience and your group of who your product or your service is for. Step 3 is actually more tied to the question. Here you want to think about your channel mix. Again, it comes back to something I said earlier, know your audience first, know where they hang out, how they like to be engaged. So when we think about this, we think about paid channels, so paid advertising, paid social. You want your owned channels. These are things you own, such as your website, your own social community, your own email newsletter. Then we have earned. If you're not doing things like media, it could even be as simple as reaching out to industry bodies or associations who might be willing to collaborate with you or promote your work. We then have shared. This could be marketplaces that are going to help amplify and help you find places to get your work in front of more audiences. So channel mix is really, really important, a mix of earned, owned, paid, and shared. The next step is to think about content mix. For each of those channels, you'll probably want a variety of formats. Think about video, blogs, social posts, audio, podcasts even if you're feeling particularly ambitious, and maybe even leveraging your community. And the final step is to set a time frame for your campaign so you can accurately monitor progress and performance. And don't be afraid to pivot. If a channel isn't working for you, kill it, reinvest in one that is working better for you. Next question. Personalization is now integral to connecting with an audience. As a creative freelancer, how can I leverage the benefits of personalization on a smaller scale? So if we break down personalization, we're really talking about the ability to create an experience or tailor your product or your service or content even to somebody in a way that makes it feel like it was created specifically for them and is directly relevant to them. The level of personalization you can achieve will depend on the access and volume of data that you have and also the technology that you have to execute. But on a smaller scale, a really great place to start can be to tailor or personalize the experience based on where your buyer is currently at in their lifecycle stages. In lifecycle stages, we're referring to the awareness stage, consideration, decision, and post-purchase. At the awareness stage, you want to think about tailoring content that's really going to help build credibility and attract your buyer to your brand. Segmentation can help a lot here. So if your target audience are B2B marketers and an SME company who don't have internal creative resources, break that down into further segments. Once you have your segment, you can think about the type of content that is suitable at the awareness stage. This could be how-to for the hospitality industry. It could be example templates and designs that you have for fintech. At the consideration stage, your buyer needs to become more educated about how you may be uniquely positioned to help them. So think about an email campaign that could showcase your product recommendations for them based again on their industry. You could showcase how other customers have been using your work in the wild as well. At the decision stage, we're really personalizing content to make our buyer feel confident that you are the right person to do business with. Think about surfacing reviews from previous customers. Our last stage is post-purchase. Do not forget about your customers. It's really easy to focus on getting new ones that we forget about the old. We want to tailor and personalize our content to this group by keeping them up to date with your work. If you can stay top of mind for those existing customers, they have no reason to go anywhere else. What's the most valuable marketing advice you think every creator should know? I think for creators and content marketers, what we're really, really good at doing is creating great content, great storytelling at the top of the funnel, videos, blogs, website assets, social communities. What we don't want to forget is making the entire process easy and delightful for your customers. Think about how you're moving them down. If I engage with your website, if I engage with a social post, what is the next logical step I can take to get in touch? I think many creators and content marketers miss a huge step here where they don't think about how they're progressing that engagement so it turns into action. Had to be a question on AI. How do you think the advancement of AI will affect how creatives promote and make money from their work? We are seeing such an interesting shift in the type of marketing that we need from the advancement of AI. If we think about history, little history lesson here, before digitalization, we really relied a lot on brand marketers and content creators. With the digitalization of marketing, that kind of shifted more into the scientific area. So we needed deep technical expertise to work out how to make channels like SEO and paid work for our business. AI is going to commoditize a lot of that and really level the playing field for brands to have excellent, world-class paid and SEO strategies that's really going to help all brands get discovered. This means the role of creators is going to become increasingly important and emphasized. What AI cannot do is replace humans' ability to be creative, to bring unique perspectives, to entertain, and this is where creators are going to be extremely important, so I think it's a great time. Another big piece of AI is actually how it is taking away a lot of those manual tasks that we don't love to do. I think many creators may be thinking, is it going to replace their role? I think it's going to make us more efficient. So think about AI as more of an assistant to you to take away some of that manual, repeatable tasks that you do so you can focus on more of the creative work. What are your top 3 marketing trend predictions for 2024? Okay, well, obviously generative AI. Companies using this and integrating it into their daily processes is definitely going to be one. Second, video. In a recent State of Marketing report run by HubSpot, we found that our audience rate YouTube and short form video as one of their highest ROI performing content channels. Thirdly, and it may surprise you, but messaging. I think in Australia, we are quite behind the rest of the world in how we think about engaging with our audience via SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. These channels offer instantaneous connections with our audience, and it's what buyers want moving forward. Really great use cases for these channels include reminders of meetings that you've booked, keeping your audience up to date with new products, content, and offers. That's it, we're back to 1.
Amazing.
Love it.
Incredible job.